Okay folks, there you have it. We have a big pile of ingots here in the back, wax ingots. These are really nice size. And while you're watching this video, you're probably wondering how many of them there is there in the back row. There's a lot. There's 8 here in this front row. These are a different size. Beeswax. So you can see that I have a shape of a U right here. That's for my brother Jason Williams. Go Utes! Utah football, guys and ladies. So again, in the back here, anybody have any guesses how many wax ingots there are back there? I'll let you think about that for a second. I got 8 here in the front. These are nice. They've been filtered and everything. I spent most of the day working on this stuff. There's 166 wax ingots back here. 166. And it took up 8 of them, of these ones, to make the U for the Utah Utes for my brother Jason Williams, because they beat my ASU Sun Devils. What my plan is to show you a very unique way that I like to use to show you how you can take a few of these wax ingots and make a candle. Now the candle design that I'm going to show you is something extremely simple, and it's something that everybody, every one of you probably has in your house right now. There we are, folks. It's time for a little snack. And my plan is to have a little bit of tuna. Now let's make some candles. So right now I have my tuna can. I've cleaned all the oil out. I've washed it, dried it. I have my lid here. I've got a small spoon or ladle. You don't have to have this technically. I have a small stick, like a chopstick. I have about 8 to 10 inches of cotton string. I have a knife, some sort of towel or rag. I have my 6 wax ingots, and I have a container that I can put the ingots in to put them on the stove. So right now I'm going to start. You're probably wondering how many ingots you need. Well, what I like to do is I like to take my can here and I like to see how many it'll hold approximately. So I just kind of stick them in there just to get an idea. So there's 3 in there. So I think if I put 4, that should be cutting it pretty close on the amount of wax I need to start with at least. So I'm going to go ahead and put those 4 in this container here, and I'm going to start heating them up over here on the stove. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for the wax to heat up, I need to start to prepare everything over here. So you can see that I've kept the inner piece here. You're probably wondering, why did I keep this? That's because I'm going to need this for my candles. So I'm going to go from, this is the top, this is the bottom, right? I'm going to go from the bottom with my knife. I'm going to find the center, make sure my fingers are out of the way, and I'm going to try to pop a little hole through. Sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. If you have trouble, you can either take a couple ingots and center where this is going to be over the top of the ingots. Find your knife there, and then using this like a hammer or a block of wood or whatever you need to, you can pop a little hole in the center. You want to leave the burrs that are sticking up right here on the top, right here where my finger's touching. Be careful when you're dealing with these inner lids because they're sharp. They can cut you wide open. From here I'm going to take my wick and I'm going to just pop it straight up through that hole. Just like that. I'm going to pull up, oh, let's see, if I take my thing and I set this down on the bottom, I only need enough wick to cover the depth of the can, so I don't, anything that's excessive, I'll just roll underneath the bottom here like this. See that? And I'll just put this right in there like that. See that? Just like so. So that'll give me plenty of wick, and I'll have some wicking material. The leftover just goes underneath. Now from here, I'll use my stick to lay across the top, and I'll just lay my wick over that. So now it's just a waiting game. I'm just waiting for my wax to melt. You can see that my wax is nice and melted, so I'm just going to pour it in there just like this. And when I pour, I'm going to pour it right on top of the wick right here. Just like that. Looks like we had the perfect amount of wax. Once I finish pouring, I'm going to make sure that I check my wick, because I need my wick to stay centered. So I'm just going to kind of move this stick around a little bit, and looking down from the top, I want to make sure that my wick is 100% in the center of the tuna can. From here, I'm just going to let it cool. This candle has had plenty of time to dry. It's not completely dry yet, but it's dry enough that we can work with it. You can see the discoloration around the ring of the thing of the candle, and you can see inside it's a little lighter. But at this point, it's okay to go ahead and pull this wick and remove this chopstick. The wick needs to be about 1/8 of an inch long. Something like that. There are other containers that you can use to make these candles other than just tuna cans. I'll show you some examples. The first one I want to show you is a Vienna sausage type can. The can comes like this, and what I do is the same exact process. The only thing that's different is this thing, this lid has these little bumps on it here. So I make sure to put these bumps up. One thing that you want to be careful with is these cans have a sharp edge on the inside. It's not really bad, but it is sharp. So what I like to do is I like to take either a knife or like the back of these scissors here, the spine, and I like to kind of smooth that out a little bit. That'll help make the edge not so rough. But this candle works good. This one's been burning literally all night long. This is beeswax in here, and it'll last a long time. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and light this one. So you have your tuna can candle, you have your Vienna sausage idea. The next type of candle that I like to use, or container, is a chicken breast type can. This is like a tuna can on steroids. You can see that I'm making just a regular candle here. It's just a standard chicken breast. It's a little larger. This thing will burn for about 2 nights. Works really good. Same concept. We're putting the lid, I guess you would call it, down in the bottom. The same idea that we did in this video. Here's another idea. This is a small can. I don't know what it was, what type of food came in it, but some little can here. Of course, you can get like a soup can, or you know, a green bean can or something like that. You can do the same thing with those. And if you want to go a little bit larger, you can take a larger type can and make a big candle. Those are real tall. They last a long time. The only downside to those larger candles is they seem to be a little bit hard to light over time. These cans are wide enough though. You know, I have big hands, and I can get them in there to light it. So even as they burn down, I can still get my hand in there to light them. It's not that bad. But honestly, my favorite cans that I like to use, the ones I like the most, are these two. I like them a lot. They make excellent candles. After about 45 minutes or so, you can see that the candle produces a nice flame, and it goes liquid on the inside. You see that nice little liquid section in the center there? That's normal. This candle will burn for many hours. It's not uncommon to see a candle like this burn all night long and half of the next day.